DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin, workonyourgame.com, DreAllDay.com. Topic of this video is you can have things exactly how you want them. So I want to talk about this. I'll tell you on the micro level where this topic came from. Then I'll tell you on the macro level how you can start applying this. So on the micro level, I just came from the grocery store. I was at Trader Joe's, and I eat a lot of bananas. I put bananas in my protein shake that I have every day. Then I eat a couple bananas in the morning to start my day, and then I'll eat a banana as a snack during the day. And I might eat a banana as a snack once or twice during the day. So one banana in a protein shake, 2 in the morning, 2 snacks, that's 5 a day. And that's not counting any bananas that my son might consume. So I'm going through I might go through 6 or 7 bananas over the course of a day. And over the course of a week, let's say 7 days, it's like 50 bananas. So it's usually not that many, but it might be as many as, even just with me, myself, 25 bananas in a week, 30 bananas in a week. So I go to the grocery store. I try to go only once a week. So I need to buy like 25, 30 bananas. So I'm at Trader Joe's, and they got a bunch of, and I eat organic produce. So the organic bananas, they got a bunch of them laid out, but they're all like, you know how bananas, when they've been sitting for several days and they're like right about to be at that point where they're going to be, what's the word, like a little bit overripe, and they're super yellow, and then they start falling apart and they get the brown spots on them. I don't like the bananas like that. I like them when they're pre-ripe. So when it's still a little bit of green and they're yellow, but they're still a little green. So like you might not even eat them yet. You might want to just let them sit for a day or two. That's how I like them, because then I know I'm getting them right when they're like perfectly how I want them. And I know that by the end of the week, because mind you, remember, I'm buying a bunch of them early. They'll be in good shape by the time I get I'm recording this on a Sunday. By the time I get the Thursday, Friday, those bananas are still in pretty good shape. And then when they get old, then I'll just use it for my protein shakes. So I'm not, eating them straight out of the peel. Anyway, saying all that to say this. They didn't have any bananas how I like them, even though they had a whole bunch of them laid out. So I'm like, I'm not even buying these, and I'm annoyed because now I'm like, shit, mildly annoyed, because now I'm like, I gotta go to the grocery store again. Either I gotta go to Whole Foods or I gotta come back up here one day later on this week. So then I asked one of the workers when I'm about to check out, when do y'all get bananas in? She said, well, we get bananas in every day. She said they didn't have any out there. And I said, yeah, they do. And I briefly told her that they didn't have the kind that I like. So since she asked one of her co-worker goes in the back, and they had the exact kind that I like. They had plenty of them in the back. So I guess they just hadn't cleared out the old ones and put the new ones in. So then she bought me a bunch, and then I bought like 30 bananas. It was exactly what I wanted. Sharing all that to say this. Many times people will go through that situation and they wouldn't say anything, they wouldn't ask anything, and then they wouldn't have the stuff that they wanted. And now you still have the problem of, I want a certain type of banana, but I don't have it. But you're still dealing with the problem because you didn't even make the attempt to get things how you wanted it. And many people just never make the attempt. The reason many people don't have the things that they want is because they never try. They never ask anybody. They never raise the issue when things are not how they want it. And then they don't even try to adjust the situation to their liking. And then they don't have what they want, and they just live, I guess we say, happily ever after. I don't know how happy they are about it, but this is usually how it goes with a lot of people. Now, I'm just using that as a microcosm because that's a small thing. It's just a bunch of bananas. I had already checked out, so then when they got the more bananas I paid, it was like $6.77 worth of bananas. So I'm talking about a $6 issue here. Not a big thing for most of us. And if $6 is a big thing for you, then you want to make it not a big thing. But the bigger issue is actually more my time and the fact that I want to get what I want. So let me tell you a bigger thing. I was having a conversation with an entrepreneur whose business is bigger than mine a few weeks ago. And we were just having a conversation. He was just telling me, here's some things I want to just share with you, some things so I can help you with your business, some things you could do with your business. And in the course of that conversation, we talked for about 45 minutes. I was writing down the things that he was telling me that I could do to help my business. He gave me like 14 ideas. I was just looking at them actually this morning. 14 things that I could do to put my business into a better position. And some of them were things that I needed to get rid of and stop doing, and some of them were things that I need to enhance and do more of, and some of them are things that I'm not doing at all that I should start doing. The whole point of it was, the whole angle of the conversation was, Dre, you can have the type of business that you want. It's just these adjustments. There are some adjustments that you need to make in that process. And that's a much bigger thing than $7 worth of bananas from the grocery store. And the same thing applies there that applies here in this grocery store situation, is that, first of all, you have to get clear on what it is that you do want. And then, are you willing to take the steps and make the request, so to speak? And the request in this case is not me asking anybody for something, but the request is me taking the actions that will correspond with having the type of outcomes that I want, which is, again, something that a lot of people, they have things that they want, but they never take the actions to get themselves around to the outcomes that they desire. And if you never take the actions around it, then, well, of course, you're not even eligible to get the outcomes, because you're not doing anything to put yourself in position to get it. So for you, what I want you to consider here is, what is it that you want in whatever situation in your life? Any aspect of your life, you can have the things that you want. In every aspect of your life, you can have the things that you want. The first thing is, you got to know what it is that you want. Secondly, you have to know what you can look at in your current situation, see what do you have right now, and then looking at that gap. Third is, ask yourself, are you willing to do whatever is going to be required in order to change that situation? Are you going to be willing to do what's required to change the situation? Without even knowing what is required, would you be willing to do it? That's the question. Are you willing to do whatever is required to change the situation? This is more of a mindset issue. In other words, this is a question of how much does it matter to you that you actually get what you want in this situation, or are you okay with the status quo? Because if you're okay with the status quo, then it doesn't matter if you're willing to do what's required. Because if you're not, then it doesn't matter. You're all right with things being how they are. So this is more of a motivation decision question than it is a what I had to do question. All right. When you're clear that you're willing to do what it takes, then okay, now we can get on to finding out, all right, what exactly it takes. Then when we get to that part of what exactly is it going to take, this may be something that you can answer yourself because you know what you need to do, you just haven't been willing to do it. Or it's a question of, I don't know what to do, and I need to get some information from outside of myself to help me figure out this issue that I have not yet resolved. Also, another aspect of this, a very important aspect of this, is the time issue. Time meaning time between now, where you are in life, and when your life will end. Because according to current science, everybody's life is going to end at some point. So, the reason why this matters is because you may be able to figure things out and do it yourself, as we say, but it might take you 5 years. Whereas if you got access to something or someone else who could help you do it faster and more effectively, you might be able to do it in 1 year. And that time factor does matter because, again, your time, eventually you run out of it. So this is a matter of multiple things. Number one, 3 things specifically. Number one, how much does it matter that you actually get this thing? Number 2, what is going to be required to make the change, and are you willing to do it? And number 3, what's the time frame in which you want to actually get this done? The time urgency involved in actually getting this done. Those are the 3 aspects when it comes to getting the things that you want. Because see, me, let's say they didn't have any bananas. They said we don't have bananas. They didn't come in yet. Okay, then that means at some point during this week, probably Tuesday, because I don't have many edible bananas left at home right now, I would have had to come back to the grocery store. And that's going to cost me time, which I don't want to invest and come back to the grocery store. So that's a time issue. It's a small amount of time, but it's still time. And that's time that I could be using for something more important. And for you, when we're talking about your life and your overall goals, or just even me, actually, we'll bring it back to me and the conversation I was having with that entrepreneur, talking about my business. That's a much more important thing, and that time is even bigger and much more important to me with that time, as far as me having the business that I want, me having the clients that I want, me developing a lifestyle that I want, all of those things. So that's the time thing. Are you willing to make the changes? Again, that's the second question. And third, the efficiency thing, as we just talked about. All right. So, and the other thing is, what do you want? That's the thing I missed out. What exactly do you want? And that's usually the piece that people are most stuck on, is they haven't even gotten clear as to what they want. The how-to thing is generally simple to answer. Doesn't mean you're going to do it, but it is generally simple to answer. And the second thing that people most get hung up on, in my experience, is the time urgency thing. A lot of people have very little time urgency because they just look at time as if it's just going to go on forever, because it's been going on forever. As far as your perspective goes, I mean, you've always had time, right? You got time now. You had time yesterday. You've had time for the last 10 years. You're going to have time tomorrow, most likely. Okay, well, what's the point of being urgent? If it's here now, it'll be here tomorrow. Yes, we all keep saying that until there is no tomorrow. And that's a mental choice that we have to make. It's not something that's going to be forced upon you. It's a choice. It's a decision. So with all that said, folks, Work on Your Game University. That's the place where I do all my coaching. If you would like to have me as your direct coach, join one of our mastermind programs, get access to our courses, our trainings, all of our stuff that I've created. We got a ton of assets in the university. Go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. You get all our trainings on mindset, strategy, content creation, on discipline, on time control, not just time management, time control, setting up systems, setting up your business strategies, being held accountable, all of those things, and a whole lot more I'm not even mentioning. We got 40 plus courses, and I'm always adding new stuff. That's workonyourgameuniversity.com. Work on your game. Dre, all